What do you make of this particular story? Lawmakers are fighting to the point, it's not actually the first time I'm saying this, it happens sometimes in the National Assembly where we see people throwing chairs, stoning themselves and all that. But now in Abia State, to the point that even in London, when they went for a state-sponsored, summit, the whole chaos also began again, allegedly oversharing of money. Jazz, what do you make of this?
Okay, thank you. We look at the interest of these lawmakers in the first place. Is their interest people-oriented, or their interest, is it money-oriented? Okay? And clearly from what we can see, these people are only interested in the money. Judging from the scuffle that we have from these two adults that ought to be more civilized than the ordinary Nigerian. So it's a case of two adults not being as civil as they should, and telling Nigerians that, hey, our interest is money, not the people. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And Mr. Frank Kenyosun, please, how do you explain, what do you have to say about this particular one? Lawmakers are throwing porn to the point of breaking someone's head with beer bottle, and also, at what point is it that the governor has to appreciate people, especially lawmakers, for speedy, approval of his bill? According to what we gathered here, what information we have, though the governor have not really come up to say something about it, he appreciated them for the supplementary budget, which day the lawmakers in the state now approved or give their assent to.
Phraseology. It's a family affair in the Nigerian context. You see, when the page that stuff concerning the governor appreciating them, I was surprised that the author of that piece made it sound like it was something unique. Who does not know that that's what goes on across the country? Like I affirmed there, concerning what the distinguished barrister said in the studio not too long ago, that we don't have separation of powers in Nigeria. First of all, before I even hit the nail on the head, I don't blame the lawmakers for being interested in money. Like the penultimate speaker affirmed just now, that the interest is money. The Nigerian political system is so structured that you would be not just stupid, but ill-inclined to yourself if you are not interested in money in this political practice that we operate. And what we are seeing is a tip of the iceberg. This is normal practice. There is more to come. The governors in the 36 states, including the FCT, including in quotes, the man that says the ship of state in Nigeria, it is what they do. The lawmakers get their share because they feel that the executive are the ones that give out the jobs, award the contract, the bulk of them, so they take the bulk. So the one they can get, apart from what they can get from victory and the project they get to themselves, is what they get as appreciation for passing the budget, whether quickly or not so quickly. So it's what happens in Nigeria, because it's a prevalent situation of illegality. On their trip to the UK, in a functional democracy, just imagine Abia State that you go to. You find the poverty rate so high, people can barely get a meal a day across so many parts of the state. People accumulate taxpayers' money and enact $1 billion. I can tell you that it's not $1 billion because the real figure is not in public domain. It will be much more to go and do retreats in the UK.
Frank, sorry, let me interrupt. May I interrupt you at this point? What does it say to our lawmaking process if monetary gratification is the reason, or the reason some laws are put forward? What does that say to the system?
See, what it says to the system is what the system is today. We are where we are as a reflection of a accumulation of all these things we are talking about. Because lawmaking, ordinarily, those who conceive of the concept of democracy, the legislature is supposed to be the anchor, is the most important arm of government. But unfortunately, where lawmaking is now relegated to being mere appendage to get what they can get, while the ship sinks, the ship of state, to whatever extent. They don't give a hoot. That's why I said that it is a system we operate. Let me tell you something. How many lawmakers vie for offices and they speak on the basis of ideology or what they will do for the people? It is just some rhetorics and songs. They contest based on the money they have in their pocket. It was just Obi that changed a bit of the story in the 2023 election, where people that had no leading anywhere or had no resources, they jumped on the Labour Party and the Obi magic made it possible for them to win election. Apart from that, how do people win election? The kind of money you spend to emerge in public office in Nigeria, if you started as a pastor, you may end up as an unbeliever. Because how do you go about it? It is a system that is so structured. And the people who are presiding over it, they are not about it because all they are concerned about is individual sustenance.
Okay.
Not due concern about the sustenance of nationhood.
All right.
I'm telling you, my brother, free of charge. This is 2025. 2026 is by the corner. In 1999, what was the cost of buying for an office? The cost has blossomed by more than 2,000%. What is 2,000?
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay, thank you very much, Frank. It looks like our politics is much more monetized now than it was 25 years ago. Now, let's go to Oka, where we still have a Chika with us. Now, Chika, there is an allegation, it's out there in the public that Abia State Governor had to, pass, grease the palms of legislators, whether it is grease the palms or they had to appreciate them with a certain amount of money, for passing the 150 billion naira supplementary bill. 150 billion naira. Well, this is October. So October, November, December. That preparation bill, the supplementary bill will expire probably on the 31st of December. Now, is that what goes on? How much of that, goes on in other parts of the country, especially the Southeast where you are based? Is it something that is it a one-off or is it something that is given? Is it a pattern, that the state governor has to appease legislators for them to, pass bills speedily, especially a preparation bill? And how much of that affects the independence of the legislature, especially that we are trying to build, a strong and varied democracy?
Thank you. First and foremost, I watched the video, the honorable member of the Abia State House of Assembly in question, who was said to have been attacked. I watched his video this morning where he was showing all parts of his head that, and I couldn't see any injury on his head. So I felt that, this is a time of AI. This is a time of political propaganda. I didn't see on any part of his head an injury. So I was like, why did they say that this man was attacked? Where is the scar? Where is the mark that indicates a bottle was used on his head? So I couldn't find one. Don't know. Abia State is having a position. Abia State has a strong APC presence. It also has a PDP presence. So,
but the Labour Party is still in the majority.
Yes, Labour Party is still in the majority, but it is only in Abia State that opposition political parties are strong in Southeast. So it is only in Abia that you can see other political parties rearing their heads. So I didn't see any scar, neither did I see any wound indicating that.
Okay. So Chika, you think that event didn't happen, and it was made up? No.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. You see, it didn't happen. I watched the video. I watched the man this morning, and there's no any mark on the both sides of his head. So I started wondering, what happened? So the man was busy showing his head. Where is mark? I couldn't find one. So on the other one, it is the culture. It is the tradition with all the houses of assembly in Nigeria. So, houses of assembly, the state legislature is an appendage of the government house in the respective states. So it is just like that. It's only in Enugu currently and in Anambra that House members are grumbling, saying that the governor Soludo and Governor Mba are not feeding them, that they are not giving them what they deserve or what others elsewhere are have been given. So you go to Ebonyi, where I come from, you see that the House of Assembly members are being
all right. Now,
they are being taken care of.
Okay, Chika, so, does it look like the opposition had to put up this to embarrass the governor?
Yes. I think so, because there's no any mark on the head of.
Okay, but you also agree. You also agree that what happened, what might have led to that scuffle, that it happens in almost all the states.
Yes, it does happen. It does happen.
So there might have been a disagreement, but not an actual fight.
Yes, there might be. Nothing arises from nothing. So something, there might be scuffle, but there was no mortal injury. No, nobody's head was broken. There might be scuffle, certainly.
Okay,
but members of the opposition, they have a way of.
Okay, so if there was a scuffle, arising from disagreement in sharing the money, then apparently it wasn't the work of the opposition to embarrass the government, that was your earlier position. Which one do we take?
Mind you that the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Barrister Benjamin Kalu, said that it is his turn to govern Abia State in 2031. So he made it known, and he has declared political fight in Abia State. Let me not just say it is fight, but he has made his intention known to the people of Abia State that he's preparing to contest the governorship election in Abia State from 2027. So, and I like that opposition political parties are rearing their heads in Abia. Let it not seem as if it is a one-man's show in Abia State. So, the Abia State governor is doing well. He's doing well. Himself, Soludo and Enugu, they are doing well. So I can commend him. But I am telling you that
isn't your state governor doing well? Francis Nwifuru, is he not doing well?
Have you ever seen any project that? Have you ever read it or watched or heard that he commissioned any project? One. Have you ever heard it? Have you ever heard or watched or read that he commissioned one project? If you have, you can show me.
Maybe he's silent on doing that. He could be silent. He could be working. A lot of governors don't come to the public to tell us, look, I'm commissioning this or that.
A governor performing wonders and keeping quiet in Nigeria, has it ever happened elsewhere? Do you have an example?
Yes, I do have. Sheyi Makinde for your state is doing quite a lot, but you hardly see him in the pages of newspapers.
Okay, so, but that of Ebonyi, if Sheyi is doing well, I thank him. But that of Ebonyi is not doing anything. It's not doing anything.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Chika. We need to move on, and I'll take this as a concluding thought. Before we come to the studio, Mr. Ehiosun, I'd like for you to give us a concluding thought on what happened in Abia State and how to build our democracy moving forward, especially, within the context of separation of powers between the executive, legislature, and judiciary. 1 minute, if you can, sir.
Yeah, on what happened in Abia State, like I affirmed earlier, I called it a family affair, an unfortunate family affair in the Nigerian context. And to differ with what the last speaker just said, saying the opposition did it or didn't do it, I think the guys who had the experience, there's no deniability. He didn't even say that the guy in showing his head said that they didn't hit button on his head. The fact that there's no crack does not mean that there was no button hit on his head. But that's unfortunate, like I said, family affair is their business. The Nigerian political system that we have today, all these dramas we are seeing will keep repeating themselves in greater scales because it is what the system ensures. That is the truth.
Okay.
Except we rejig it to ensure that politics is structured to prioritize the greatest good for the greatest number of people within the shortest possible time, as well as in the medium and long term.
And that's echoing the words of Jeremy Bentham. Thank you very much. We appreciate your presence. I would like for you to stay with us as we move into the next topic of discussion. Mr. Ezike, your concluding thought on what happened in Abia State. How do we stop all of that? Build a democracy that there is separation of power, checks and balances between the three arms of government. 1 minute, sir.
Okay. The way forward to curtail such from happening again is to make sure that we reduce the cost of running for office, and by so doing, you have people that are going into politics without the idea of making profits out of it. You have politicians who are not money-oriented, but people-oriented, okay? Because if these men were people who are people-oriented, will not have them fighting over money. There's nothing wrong with Alex Otti giving them a cash gift. Anybody can give a cash gift to anybody, okay? But if they are not
doing a job that they are paid for,
it's a gift. It's a gift. Anybody can gift you. It's a gift. You know?
Doesn't that sound like bribery?
It's not bribery. It's just a gift.
What's the difference between a gift and a bribe?
Okay.
I mean, if I give you 5,000 naira for you to push my file in the office, is that a cash gift or a bribe?
Now, that's a different situation here.
Oh, how different?
The situation we have here is that these men were given this gift after this job was done. It's like a thank you for a job well done.
So you don't think that the money influenced
will influence them next time, even if it didn't in the previous time?
But it's a gift will certainly influence anybody. It's going to be an influence.
So is it right?